So next, idea generation. So here, once the problem is clear, we must brainstorm multiple solutions. We need not restrict anybody. Whoever is party to the particular system or the process, we should involve them so that we will get a multiple suggestions and solutions. Because when we involve, say for example, like your SMS meeting, when you involve different type of users, everyone will have a different perspective. So they will be able to give different angle of thoughts so that the solution will have a better input before it is being formed. So we need to encourage diverse perspective. This is what I explained. Then generate multiple ideas, even unconventional one. Some people may say some idea which may look very impractical, but still you should not mind. You should take those ideas also. Then further you have to evaluate. Then next I told prototype, creating low cost model. Say for example, you want to inspect runway through drones. So you we will not do that drone runway surface runway inspection through drones overnight in all the airport. We need to make some prototype. Then we should test in particular low air traffic airport. We should not do this in a very busy airport. Then a low air traffic airport you should be able to see because you will have more time to test. So you should do it. Then what will happen? The users, say for example, runway inspection done by ops team or ground control team, whatever the team is responsible. We should get the feedback from them. What kind of feedback they get. Then if there is a need, we need to fine tune the system, whatever we are trying to implement. So like this, when we do it, what will happen? We get a simple quick model to test the ideas. So if that is the idea is totally wrong, what we will do? Then we will drop it. Means we will rework the entire concept again. If there is a small changes are required, then we can modify it. Once we are very much thorough in this low traffic airport, this say for runway, we will test through drone. There are so many countries they are doing navigation equipment reading also through drones. There are so many works they are doing through drones. So we should also try to see. If suppose we are implementing that, then we should start with a small airport where there is not much traffic. We'll have sufficient time to test and simulate the conditions. Say for example, something you can foreign objects, how the drone through drone, how we will detect. All these things you can simulate and check in the small airport. Then you can go for a bigger implementation. So next you can go for the next level of airport. Then we can go for the real operation in the bigger airport. Then once it is very well tested and proven, then we can go for implementing across the country. So this prototyping helps validate the ideas. Whatever the validate you made idea, that will be validated through this. And small scale tests will always be beneficial for the organization because capital you will not block for a long time. Once you find it is worthy, then only you will come to the main area. Say for example, you see self-service check-in kiosk. Even when we implemented in major airports, what we have done, initially we kept a few counters. We have not replaced any counter. Even till now, we have not replaced the physical counter, isn't it? Still we are keeping this both hybrid manner we are keeping. But if you observe what we are doing, initially some airports they have kept some 4-5 counters. They put some people also to guide people. Then later what happened? They increased number of counters, but still the guiding people they put reduced. So like this, gradually you can make it. Then it will be perfectly successful. For a small example, I can tell remote ATC tower. Suppose we wanted to make remote ATC tower, we should try this with a low air traffic airport where we have very less landing, where there is no too much of safety issues. Probability of safety issues are very low. We should try there. Once we try there, we install and train and use it, adopt the system, then we will be comfortable to migrate to other places. Then finally, the prototype testing we already discussed. In this stage, whenever you are doing testing, as I told, you need to get the feedback and refine the solution. You should be able to adapt the ideas, whatever you made. It should not be rigid ideas. It should be little. You should be able to adapt based on the feedback. So in this way, what will happen? The solution will be ensured that it will work in the field properly. And when you, as I told, you should get the feedback from the real passengers, ATC or whomsoever who is really concerned with that particular process. Suppose, for example, you want to make a cafeteria, some facilitation we want to make for passengers. If you get the feedback from the owner of the cafeteria, you will always tell it's excellent. We need to ask passengers only whether you feel whether you are getting your hygienic food and healthy food or per your choice. All those things, if you want to really understand, you should talk to consumers, that is passengers. In most of the cases, our VVIPs will be passengers only. Then naturally airlines, because the passengers ultimately comes through airline. So like this, you can visualize the stakeholders' importance. So sometimes you can ask whether regulators are not important. We can ignore regulator. Some people used to ask me if I say passengers are more important. They ask, sir, then regulators issue can we ignore? We should not have a confusion in this. See, basically, you are doing a business. When you do a business, you get a customers. The customers, I am saying, topmost priority is passengers. Once to do a business is a mandatory for you to meet basic regulatory requirements. If you are not meeting the regulatory requirements, there is no possibility for you to do business itself. So there is no point in talking about passengers once you are not complying to the regulatory requirement. So regulatory requirement is a basic thing based on which only your business exists. Suppose we are not able to meet the DGCA regulation, then we will not be having license to operate the airport at all. So there is no point in thinking about passengers' delightment. I think this example, I think I am able to clarify this particular doubt if anybody is having. So once you do the business as per the regulatory mandatory guidelines, you met all the guidelines, then you got a valid license to operate the airport. Yes, now your priority is passengers only. Once you are not able to meet the basic requirement to do the get the license itself, then there is no point in talking about passengers because you have to take that one as a most important thing. So, for example, this testing air traffic control generally test the new automated system in a test jigs or small components. Say, for example, you are going for 150 system, they will keep some 15-20 system to test because it is not possible for you to test 150 system at a time. You need a manpower, you need lot of resources you need. So, like this is an example. If you in this test, if you are sincerely doing, then naturally you can adopt the system for the full implementation. Same thing for new seating arrangement. Sometimes I have seen in Bayal Airport. In Bayal Airport, you can, I don't know how many of you have traveled to Bayal Airport and you have seen how Bayal people are doing work. Maybe now we are also doing that, I don't know. But in Bayal, 10 years back, I'm telling, 10 years back, I was transferred to Bayal Airport. In 2015, when I was traveling from Bayal to Chennai, I found one person was keep on taking photo of passengers. Then I was little bit uncomfortable. I thought that why this man is taking photo. Then I was approached him. Can I know why you are taking photos of it? Then he told, I am a consultant for seating arrangement. So we have changed. We are going to change the seating. So we have partially changed the seats. I am taking the photos, how it fits in this particular hall, how these seating arrangements are really useful or not. Then I really got surprised. So this way also it can be done. So the like a bird, you are a bird hazard management or wildlife hazard management. See, everything you need design thinking based on the local area. You cannot cut and paste whatever the wildlife management process we are doing in Delhi to Chennai, because Chennai environment is different, Chennai surrounding is different, where reptiles living style is different, everything will be different. So this need to be adopted there. So I found that people are taking meticulously all these efforts. That definitely gives the result. So we should also start apply this design thinking concept seriously. Now let us come back to Mr. Ops at ABC Airport. So as I told, I am also not, I won't claim myself as a subject matter expert. But yes, suppose if I want to do design thinking, what I have to do, I have to experience the passengers experience, how they feel, that you have to experience. So you can do survey, you can do interview, everything you can do. But first step what you have to do is that you try to experience yourself. Wherever it is possible, you can do it. Say, for example, if I want to experience what ATC people are getting in the automation, I cannot do because I cannot sit in this channel and work. But I can go and sit along with them. I can observe them half an hour. If I go daily half an hour and sit with them, Then slowly you will understand what is their experience they are getting from the system. So then you will also understand how to address these issues. It is not only this. In case of a passenger lounge facilities, trolleys, whatever is there, you have to spend time there to observe what passengers are experiencing. So what this Mr. Ops did after the suggestions he received, he got these suggestions. Somebody suggested hire more staff. Somebody suggested recommend upgrading the existing system. Somebody told you should strict the boarding rules. See, these suggestions, sometimes hiring more staff, it may not be economical to the management. Recommend upgrading of XBs also management may not like because they invested a lot of money. Now this is a service life they have to meet, otherwise they will get into loss. Then somebody is telling you make a stricter boarding rules. Then what will happen? All your confectionaries will not be happy. He wants the passengers to come inside as early as possible. If you restrict them, then his business will go. So that will lead to a conflicting decision. So now what Mr. Ops did, he has decided different thing. He decided first, let me experience the journey as a passenger only. In the peak hour, he also traveled. He took a suitcase or whatever it may be. He arrived at the airport with the suitcase, navigated through all the security check and waiting area at the peak hour like any other passengers. So what will happen? Naturally, he will experience what our passengers are experiencing. When he experienced this, now if he interacts with the passengers, it will be more scientific. So what are the things he has done? He has done all this. Then he noticed elderly passengers are struggling with filling some forms. Most of the airports we have done away with any type of forms, but he observed in that particular airport, passengers are struggling with so many forms. They don't know how to fill. They are not able to understand the jargons used in the form. What is this? What is that? So they are finding confusion. They are stuck up at the filling the form. Some foreign travelers confused by the announcement. They are not able to understand what is being announced. So you see that in India, if you see, if we know Hindi and English, entire country we can travel. If you know only English, you will find difficulty. If you know Hindi and English, you need not know any other regional language, you can comfortably travel. But in a foreign country, the Spanish is mostly used. That these people will get more confusion. You might have experienced yourself when you interact with the Europeans. They cannot communicate you properly in good English. But we think that every foreigner speaks English. Not like that. They don't speak English. Very few people speak English. The majority speaks Spanish or other language. They get confused whenever come to airport. So this Mr. Hobbs identified this also. Then families fumbling with luggage at checkpoints. They come with a small kid, they come with the aged person, they don't know how to manage the legs, how they don't know how to put it in this thing, they get panic. You can see even today in major airports, this family group you will find, they became very nervous and anxious. Then next what he did, he observed all these things, then he started asking the passengers, what frustrates you the most about security checks? Why he is asking this negative question? He's not asking what makes you to happy at our airport. That you should ask. For that ASQ rating or something. But this is the solution. You have to find a problem. So he is asking what frustrates you the most about the security checks. Why we are asking? Now that the passengers feels comfortable, yes, somebody is ready to listen me. So I can communicate my pain points. So they say most of them don't understand what items need to be removed from the baggage. So if you see somebody is opening the baggage, they are not feel comfortable to open the end of the in the front of the security check or it's end of the check-in point to remove everything. So some people do not understand. They feel rushed and anxious when the line is too long. This also happens when they see the security check. We terrorize the passengers. Airlines by unknowingly they tell 3 hours before you come, 4 hours before you come. Then this passenger get panic. So when they go to the queue, there already is big queue is there. Like I told, some foreign airport people are sitting in the floor literally because they are tired and they are opening the baggage and putting in the tray. They fight for taking the tray. This is the airport management is totally failed to do these kind of things. So when this kind of airport, the rush and anxious will happen more. So the queue will never be slow. Even if his departure is 2 hours before also, he will try to push inside. So this is, yes, observed. Then second thing, everybody don't speak the local language and struggle with the instruction given. This is very much applicable for our India. India is a wonderful country. It's a mini world, you can say. Every 200 kilometers, we speak different language. How do we address this? So these are the issues he found through passengers. Now you see what he has come out with the solution. Now again he went for the brainstorming. First question, he redefined the statement. How might we make security screening faster and less stressful to passengers? Now your question is answered. Now this Mr. Ops, ultimately where he comes to a question, how might we make security screening faster and less stressful to passengers? So it means what? He is now totally different problem statement is making. He is neither talking about the security equipment, nor he talks about the increasing the staff. So this is the basic thing that I want to highlight this. So this is what we have to do. So once he identified this, then next what he is doing, he identifies certain the brainstorming. Some of the solutions I listed here. It is not a, I am saying that it's a foolproof solution. This is just for our example presentation I am telling. Visual guides near security to show do's and don'ts. Say, for example, if possible, a particular airport, population of traffic, population of passengers belong to a particular region, we shall not mind in keeping more than two language also, so that people will easily understand. Because many times first passengers will come, first time travelers will be there. So they should know clearly what they should do, what they should not do. And multilingual digital screen with clear instructions. See, we have got a very good, wonderful FIDS system, which is as good as ATC automation system. There should be very much possibility we can put multilingual screens. It is not that only we will put a two language. We can put even the particular, say for example, Mangalore. If the Mangalore airport, if we find some particular airport, if that is a lot of people are coming from Kerala, you find from the statistics. That's why I'm telling data analytics is another important thing for us to become a global operator. So once you have the data, this particular population is coming, particular peak hour they are coming. It means your system can be configured. The particular peak hour you can put it in Malayalam also, because you are not going to do any additional investment. The same digital screen will, instead of an advertisement, it will come in Malayalam. This is for our example I am telling. So if you do same thing, you can go to Gujarat, if some Ahmedabad airport, some particular time, many people only speak Gujarati is coming. You put in Gujarati, nothing wrong in that. So like this, we should visualize. The next is pre-check areas where staff assist passengers before coming into plane. So you might have seen in some of the airports in foreign countries, you will find a lot of young boys and girls will be standing before you go into the security check. They tell you have to do this. And they will ask you whether you kept your passport in particular page open. So what happened? The passenger feels a little bit less stressed now because somebody has already guided him. So he feels less stressed. Then he will not create any anxious moment and he will not trouble the security check process. He will very much cooperate. He will not come back so many times whether should I remove my overcoat or should I remove my shoe belt. He will not ask. He will do perfectly. He will do everything. So these are the three things Mr. Ops has found that it should be done for AVCA. Now once he has done, what he has to do next? He has to implement that. So he has to do it. Suppose he is having so many gates, so many security checks gates. Then he should try to do these prototypes in particular gate. Introduce it in the particular highly, wherever jamming gate is there, there he has to do this. Then that's a security check he can see. If then he has to get the feedback about the passenger, same process he has to continue. Personally also he should experience and he should get the feedback also from the passengers. Then what will happen? Then he will be able to assess whether these ideas are meaningful or not. So once these suggestions or ideas is meaningful, you will get the result from the feedback. Then once you should adapt and fine tune all these things, then you can go for final implementation. Say for example, in this example, for maybe I might have spent some 1 or 2 hours to prepare the PPT. Within this itself, if I can tell, these are the suggestions we can do. When you are in field, and you are experiencing the challenges daily, you just adopt this framework of design thinking. Definitely, you'll be able to bring out better solution. And definitely, AI is having the vast experience than any other airport operator. We should be really leading in all fronts than the private operators. So this is what some examples I am telling. The next, if you see this question, Mr. Ops has asked one question I highlighted in red color. How might we? So this is the question we should ask ourselves. So whenever we find a challenge, we need to adopt this HMV philosophy. So you should rephrase your challenges into these questions. So I am not going into detail. There are three major areas we need to address these challenges. So our major function is only airport development, operation, then air navigation. So I just put it three areas where we find the challenges and how these challenges can be approached for design thinking process way to solve it. Now let me take first example is a passenger experience. So I'm not listing too many challenges, just five challenges I will put it each category. The first one, long security lines. Okay. So now the immediately your mind should ask, how might we speed up screening without compromising security? So I request all of you to read that Tim Brown book. It's a very small book. You can read it within 1 month or something. If you read it, even if you are very busy, you read few pages, you can complete in 1 month. And this area particular questionnaire that how might we, he has explained very nicely with so many examples. So how might we speed up the screening without compromising security? The next one, wayfinding issues. How might we help passengers navigate airports better? See, there are even that airport can have an app. See, if you see that some big malls, when you go, the malls are having a better facilities than airport. If you, those who disagree, I can tell you, some of the Asia's biggest mall, you go to Hyderabad or you go to Bangkok, you see, the malls are having facilities much better than the airports. If you enter inside, all the places kiosk is kept. You are here, where you want to go. That the kiosk itself will tell you which floor you have to go, which shop you have to access, which floor. So this is some way of wayfinding issues. We can do it in the airport also. Some people are even issuing Android app. So through that Android app, the passengers once they go, they can easily navigate to. Because nowadays we are constructing a big massive terminal building. So these are all required. Baggage delays. How might we ensure baggage arrives very fast at a particular belt? Then language barriers. How might we help non-English speakers navigate in the airport? Then accessibility for disabled travelers. How might we make terminal more inclusive? So inclusive means what? We should not build only something which is good for only few stakeholders. We need to see that is we need to take care of every part of the stakeholders, every diverse stakeholders need in an inclusive way. We should address these things. Now next point. That books I will share you. I will share you in the slide itself. I have booked the books, slides, titles I put. And each presentation, whenever I make, I give the reference material where from I got inspired. See, I tell you, design thinking is not that I innovated something. I found so many problems in Indian Aviation Academy after coming here. We simply make a timetable that is only to get postponed or cancelled. I feel shame. So I was thinking, what is the core issue? That's why you see that I started interacting more with AI colleagues through surveys, training, need analysis, faculty development program, because you are the VIP for me. If I keep on interact with the colleagues at IAA, again we will make timetable, again we will cancel. So design thinking is not just only big engineering thing. In everywhere you can apply. So this only I'm telling. I will give there are so many references. I will not flood with references. These two books I sincerely request you read. Either if you find time, you read these two books. Otherwise, you come for training at IAA 3 days. We will simplify your work. We will give the each steps. We will give the case studies or work. When you leave the IAA, you will be a very good person on design thinking, much ahead of other AI colleagues. Okay, now let us go to ATC efficiency. Now ATC efficiency, weather disruptions. See, this is nowadays we are finding all over world. No, we are seeing airports are submerged in water. So we need to think something much ahead. We should not copy and we should not wait for Europeans to do something. We are having much predominantly growing capacity of ANS. We need to think in this all this angle. So weather disruption. How might we improve safety and efficiency during storm-like situation? We used to make fun and Chennai. Chennai do not need even ILS. Why do we need ILS? Because there is no rain in Chennai. Always the weather is very hot. But now what is happening in Chennai? Tsunami is coming, flood is coming. The ATC center is it means it's thrusted with wind and rain water. So situations are changing. So we need to be ready for that. Then coordination with the airport, how we might integrate ATC better with ground operations. Then runway incursion, how might we prevent unauthorized runway crossing? We have, yes, we have so many facilities, but still, can anybody tell in the any particular part of the world there is no runway incursion happens? There is no bird strike happens. You see, the last 2 3 months, there are so many accidents we are seeing. It means what? We are somewhere we are lagging. That safety margin we are missing all over world. So something is happening. So we need not to wait something to happen. We need to pull up immediately and we should start seriously understand this. The capacity management. How might we optimize airspace usage? Digital tower. How might we define remote ATC operation for that? So wherever challenge comes, first question is to be a layman like type. We should write like this. Then we should process the entire process. Then ultimately we will reach a better solution. That when come to infrastructure, Airport Authority is one of the most aspiring organization on sustainable energy. Though the credit goes to Cochin Airport, they have made a wonderful initiative. Now we are also nowhere lacking. We are also implementing so many things. But still, we need to see how might we further transition airport to complete solar power, and how might we prevent luggage misrouting. How might we reduce community complaints about aircraft noise? See, if you see in IA, I wanted to develop some online course, but we are not able to even record one video because always aircraft are flying over us. So they're too much noisy. The Indians are very good and very cooperative. They don't make any complaint. But still, in future, it is not going to be like this. Then we need to see how to reduce the complaints about aircraft noise also. We need, what I mean to say, we need to start all these things today itself. Then after 2 3 years, we may be a very good organization when we will be able to address this issue. See, this design thing, that's what I told. For example, I told in IA timetable, when I came here, see, 100 training is scheduled, 70 training is cancelled, 50 training is cancelled. Then I wondered actually, then how we made this timetable. Then I'm the first person after coming to IA, I started making training need analysis. I tried to catch people from AI, what do you want to learn, whether these trainings are we are giving, whether are you happy with this, or you want some more new training, what prevents you to attend the training like this. Because that is the area where you have to interact. This design thinking is applicable in each and every dimension of our role, including procurement and everything. Because if you see, when you design thinking, if you apply, then only you will understand the real problem statement, the real solution and specification you can work out. So if you are not able to do that, then naturally you will be lacking in the perfect specification or perfect QR. Then you will be in the trouble only. That smart restrooms, how do we see, there are airports they started implementing robots for cleaning the airport. So we should not wait that we will not be doing that. We will also do it. Suddenly one day you will find Hayal and Bayal will implement robotic cleaning. Then what you will do? You will be under pressure to do. So we need to start thinking all these things. At least some 2% of our population we should try. We have 4,000, 8,000 executives. At least in my opinion, 10% is 800 people. 5% is 400 people. 200 people at least we should train on design thinking, system engineering, procurement management, all these things. Then only we will be having really evolving to a world-class airport operator. Otherwise, we'll be keep on buying things from outside. Then disaster preparedness is very important because nowadays disaster we do not know where when it will come. So deserts are getting flooded. So like I told, Chennai is having flooded 2 3 times in the recent year. So we need to prepare for this. So this is what I would like to tell so far in this thing. So that key takeaways, there are 10 points I have listed here. I am not reading one by one. I am very sorry to apologize that it is a single. Generally, I hate taking webinar type of this thing because I love to interact with the people and I would like to move around people. But this is very limited time. My plan is only 60 minutes for this webinar because I don't want to occupy too much of your busy schedule. So next webinar also you'll do in 60 minutes only. So this top 10 takeaways which you should keep it in your mind. The same 10 takeaways, the little bit brief, I will share the PDF to you. So empathy drives innovation. If you don't meet your real customer, then you will not be able to develop the innovation. Similarly, define the right problem. Initially, if you draw a wrong problem, like I told, See, you take the example, though the example is a small example, is I feel personally very happy with this example. When the initially Mr. Ops was analyzing, he was concentrating on increasing staff and facility. But the end, what he has done totally differently something else. He has neither increased the staff nor he increased the security machines. So you need to define the right problem. Then third one is collaboration enhances the problem solving. You should not leave out anybody. Everybody should be involved. Electrical engineer, civil engineers, IT people. Everybody should be involved in the major work. If you are spending some 100 crore project or you are a faster intensive project you are doing, involve everybody in the beginning. Prototyping and testing ensure practicality. Technology adoption requires change management. So technology adoption requires change management. Can anybody tell what do you mean by this? I don't know whether your audio is unmuted by our people. I do not know. So technology adoption requires change management means, say for example, a classic example I can give, CNS facilities I can give. You bring new technology, at the same time the same equipment will have very old technology. So when you bring a new technology and running the old technology also, you should need to concentrate on the change management. Once you think about change management, what you will do? You will naturally go and interact with you will involve the CNS people into the process because they are the user there. They are going to only handle these both equipment. If they are left out in this process, definitely the person who is in the, see, most of the equipment room, one person will be there on duty. He will have some 15-year-old equipment and very latest equipment. He has to migrate his brain and the adaptation when he handles the compliance between two new generation of difficulties. So this change management is yes, change management is difficult than new implementation. 100% I agree with you because humans are involved. See, wherever humans are involved, you need to go start with the empathized manner only. You cannot strictly tell, hey, you must do like that. You should understand their problem. Then once you bring them here, see, I could tell you an example in the past when the very first time the Aviation networks, when it was computerized through AMSS, that the TCS system, there was a huge opposition from the workforce. But later, you see, those system has become very successful and so many times it's upgraded. Now you see we are AMHS. That AMHS itself is a upside. Now we are talking about IP based system. So this change management is very, very important whenever you are introducing new technology. Otherwise, your implementation will be a big flop. Then user centric design improves efficiency. Suppose, say, for example, you are introducing a new ASMGCS, the latest level 3, level 4 using. Equipment you purchase for level 3, but you have left out the electrical engineers involvement right from the beginning. Somehow you will left. Last minute you are bringing them. I want to integrate this. Your runway light should be operated from this. How he will do? He will not be able to do. So we should involve everybody. So right from beginning, this suppose for electrical engineers, they do not know what is level 3 ASMGCS. We should train them. The basic course we should give in the 3 hours course. What is level 1, level 2, level 3? What is the requirements of runway lights? What is the runway? See, Cat 3 ILS. We should involve these civil people also, electrical people also. We should appraise them. Cat 3 means what all things are required. Then only they will involve in the process. Otherwise, they will do just a work. Hey, these people are asking something, let us do. Instead of that, we should involve them, then they will do perfectly. Then data-driven decision making automates operation. Like I told, no, when you are making a simply instead of telling gates are crowded, the restrooms are crowded, you should do the data-driven decision making. You should have data. APD should have data. So when I talk about a data-driven decision making or data analytics, many APDs are feeling that what my people will do by learning this. But APDs should understand they are going to help them only. If the APDs are sending their people for this kind of training, they will simplify their headache because they will do the data driven, they will give the data. For example, these are these many restrooms. This particular hour, this particular restroom is always crowded. This data you have, then you can take a decision what you have to do with that particular area. And sustainability and cost efficiency. Once you do like this, naturally we want to do sustainable energy we have to do, and also we want to do cost efficiency also. So these are the things which will happen when you do design thinking. Then in this process, what you are doing a iteration. You are making a prototype, you are implementing, taking the feedback from the user, and systematically you are collecting the user feedback and you are making adoption. Then once you make this prototype perfectly okay, then this iteration stage itself, the solution will definitely be an excellent solution. The design thinking is a mindset, it's not just a process. So what I'm saying is that the last line is very, very important. Even though it says, for example, this 5 process is there, 6 process is there, you should not do like a clerical work. It is basically it should be in your mindset. What you have to do, you have to do it. So these are the 2 books I referred, and these are the I suggest you to read Change by Design, Tim Brown. You will not find like a very good book of something glamorous book. This is not a glamorous book, but it's a very wonderful book. So I would say that this book, at least if you are a engineer or whatever it may be, you are making a ops people, entire ops people should read, entire engineering people should read, entire ANS people should read. And ANS people particularly, I tell you, don't think that everything is only in ATM ANS like that. If you understand design thinking only, you will be able to procure a good system. You should be able to find a solution. Otherwise, simply you'll copy from European and buy it, and it will never match with our requirement. Somewhere we will be floating or hanging. Either we will buy too much or we will not buy what is necessary. So we need to, every person in the AI should read about this first book. And second book, yes, once you complete the first book, second book also you should try to read. Okay, this PPT I will share with all the email IDs, whatever I have on the attendance. So you can go through this. And this webinar, what are the PPT also I will share along with this other details. And I will share you one small questionnaire I will share you. What I would like to do is that just some 10 questions I will ask. I will share. It's not compulsory. I will share in my Facebook and LinkedIn also. Let anybody try. Just I wanted to know the basic things whether people have understood or not. If they have not understood, they have to go through this PPT once again. Then they can try. This is for self-evaluation. Okay. And people, I would request all of you to note down this WhatsApp number and email ID. So anytime you find any issue, immediately you text in the WhatsApp, so that we will come to know whether in case of you find difficulty registering the nomenclature or whatever issues you can put it. It is very, we are free to receive your, address your complaint. So this is what I meant to say, that the other 3 topics I lined for the next 3 months. So whichever, whenever time permits, we will try to do these webinars in the coming month. So I advise you people to try to spare some time. Then I will reduce this duration to 60 minutes in the next time onwards, so that you will be able to participate without wasting your valuable time. And recently we are done the training need analysis. Due to some reason we could not complete a phase 2 that we will complete by 18th February. Then we have made internal faculty development. First phase we will process by 27th February, and second phase will start on 10th March. If some of you have addressed that survey, you have given a willingness for the being a part of the faculty at IAA, we are planning to conduct a separate webinar to interact with them. So that will be an open interactive session. So I would like to request all of you to share this information to your colleagues also, so that we will build a better community in the AI, so that we will really able to compete with the global competition. So thank you so much for your patient hearing. So this, as I told, this is not made as an open interactive session. I think whatever the question you raised, I answered in that chat also. And somebody has suggested one additional book. I expect all of you to. Yeah, you can send this WhatsApp number. You see in this slide, whatever WhatsApp number I given, that is only I am only seeing. Because I don't have full time to see that one, but my assistant is having this WhatsApp. Primitive issues, she will reply. Anything deserves my attention, she will show to me. So you send it in this WhatsApp number anytime, any message you want, you send it. But we will see from Monday to Friday, 10 to 5, we are seeing this WhatsApp message. But I found a lot of interactive things happened after this WhatsApp number is introduced. So people are happy. So we are able to address their queries as and when they are raising. And most probably, the genuine issues are immediately addressed as quickly as possible. Okay, thank you once again. Any other questions, any other doubts or any feedback, anything is there, you can quickly tell me. So if that is not the case, then we will wind up this webinar. Thank you so much for all of you to participate in this. Let us meet in next month webinar. See you. Bye bye.